I turn to my former Steeler friend, Mr. Clark. What do we make of that?
Ryan.
Listen, Greeny, you inherit this. Like, this is what we inherit. When you walk into the building on the south side, these are two things you know. You walk into the building and you go, hey, man, the Ravens are really good and the Ravens are really tough. And then you walk into the building and you also inherit the Cleveland Browns suck. That's just how it works. Nobody tells you that. It's not something you have to be taught. But when you walk into the Southside practice facility, these are things you know. Now, is this an example of when keeping it real goes public? Absolutely. He probably shouldn't have said it. He also used one of the greatest Tomlinisms, nameless gray faces, in the wrong way because we're actually talking about the faces. Now, every team is a nameless gray face. He also said they had like a couple of good players. It's for sure disrespectful. He might as well go do Corvette on their logo this week and then drive back to Pittsburgh and play. But when you play against the Cleveland Browns and you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you expect to win, especially if you're a guy like JuJu Smith-Schuster, who's only been in this league three years and has only known bad Cleveland Browns team. But this is a different Cleveland Browns team. But Baker Mayfield is delusional if he thinks not practicing, not having your head coach, and not having certain people there isn't going to hurt them. I also have motivation to go run, Greeny, because I can't wear suit bottoms. But that doesn't mean I've lost these 20 pounds that I've gained during quarantine.
Well, that's because snacks over everything was your downfall, but that's a whole different conversation. So, Nikovich, let me come to you on that thought, because the talk is good and it's fun. It's good for people like us. But at the end of the day, I mean, that's what they have to do. Kimberly just said it. Worst case scenario. Can they still win this game without practicing hardly at all this week, missing all the people they're missing, including their head coach who was their play caller? Rob Ninkovich, can the Browns still win Sunday night?
No, and I'm going to explain this pretty simple. Purdue University, I was taking.
That was simple.
Purdue University.
Nick, that was simple.
Hey, quick and to the point. Purdue University, I was taking trigonometry. I had the first test of the semester. Guess what? I didn't study for it. I was confident and cocky. I walked into the building. I sat down at the desk. I looked at the test, and I knew I was failing. I knew. Like, I looked at the test, and I said, man, I didn't prepare for this test. I'm not prepared for this test. And guess what? There was only 10 questions. I got 2 correct. So 2 out of 10, do the math. Failure. That was a failed test. So what did I learn from that? I learned preparation is key.
That's a 20.
That's a 20. That's a 20%. So preparation is key. I had to drop the class. And it looks like the Browns will probably drop this game too.
Well, because the point you were making, let me just, because Nick, I think there is an important point to be made here. You were telling us this morning that this is a game that Baker Mayfield has never played in before, whether he knows it or not. He's going to find out Sunday that this is different than anything he's been before.
Yes, I was trying to say at the end of the day, when you hit the playoffs, and RC knows this, the warm-ups are more intense. Your pregame rituals, you're trying to get everything right because you don't want to mess this up. You go preseason games to regular seasons, that's a jump. Regular seasons to playoffs, that's a bigger jump. It's a one-game season. With the Steelers having a week of preparation, they're ready to go. You can tell they're ready to go. They rested their guys week 17, and the Browns haven't had a chance to practice on a football field. I don't care how much virtual practice you do. There's nothing that compares to being on the field and running your routes, throwing passes, because Baker needs to throw the ball in this game, and completing those passes. So it's going to be really tough for them, especially without their play caller.
Yeah, and so, Kimberly, let me come back to you on what happens now. What are they waiting to hear today? What are the chances they get to practice? What is next in this?
All week, it's been wait and see for the Browns if their facility will open, and today's the same thing. All week it's been closed. The hope is that they could get in today. Last week was the same situation, them having to wait and only practicing 2 days. This week, so far, no days. So that's not ideal if you're the Browns.
All right, we will wait and see what happens. And I get why they're saying it's not going to impact the game. What are they going to say? Oh, this means we can't win. It's a shame for us. I understand why you would say that, but sometimes the reality can smack you in the face. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.